drilling equipment at the Malaba border at the weekend. The first consignment that arrived at the Kingfisher oil field in Chikube district on Monday. We'll be able to drill our own oil in the country. Good news right there. And also, NSSF tags lower interest rate to midterm access. Get yourself a copy and get to know what is happening around us. Now, because of time, allow me to take you straight into our international news update as we bring it to you live here on channel 44. We'll start with what's happening in the neighboring Kenya. Kenya's President William Ruto has unveiled a 25-member cabinet 2 weeks after he was sworn in as the country's 5th president. The team consists of well-known politicians, some ardent supporters, and new faces. The initial public reaction has been mixed. Some have praised the team. Others have pointed out that some of the members are facing charges in court and have tainted reputations. Others have pointed out that Mr. Ruto has broken a campaign promise to name a gender-equal cabinet. And in Nigeria, an international medical charity says there is a catastrophic health crisis in northwestern Nigeria. Medicine Sans Frontieres said extraordinarily high numbers of the children were suffering from acute malnutrition. This organization has treated about 100,000 children with the condition since the beginning of the year. 17,000 required hospital care. The charity said the humanitarian response has been poor, with greater attention focused on northeastern Nigeria, where there has been a long-running Islamist insurgency. And off to the Middle East, at least 76 protesters have been killed by Iranian security forces during 11 days of unrest sparked by the death of a woman in custody, according to activists. Iran Human Rights IHR, a Norway-based organization, accused authorities of using disproportionate force and live ammunition to suppress the dissent. The dead at 41, including several security personnel, and blamed rioters. Hundreds of people have also been arrested, 20 of them journalists. The anti-government demonstrations have spread to more than 80 cities and towns across Iran since the funeral of Mahsa Amini on the 17th of September. The 22-year-old Kurdish woman from the northwestern city of Saqqez had been visiting the capital Tehran on the 13th of September when she was arrested by morality police officers for allegedly violating the strict law requiring women to cover their hair with a hijab or headscarf. She collapsed after being taken to a detention center to be educated and died in hospital following 3 days in a coma. And elsewhere, Chuba is completely without power after Hurricane Ian pummeled the western end of the island, according to an announcement from its government. The electrical system is experiencing total collapse, according to officials, after one of the main power plants could not be brought back online. 2 people were reported dead and buildings were damaged nationwide. The Category 3 hurricane, packing wind speeds of up to 195 kilometers per hour, is now bearing down on Florida. On Cuban state television yesterday, the head of the Electrical Energy Authority announced that an island-wide blackout had occurred as a result of the national electrical system's breakdown, leaving millions of people in the dark. And in the world of economics, the International Monetary Fund has openly criticized the UK government over its plan for tax cuts, warning that the measures are likely to fuel the cost of living crisis. In an unusually outspoken statement, the IMF said the proposal would be likely to increase inequality and add to pressure pushing up the prices. Markets have already raised alarm over the plan, sending the pound plunging. The government says the measures will kickstart economic growth. This morning, UK time, the pound stood at around $1.06 after dipping by 0.7% in Asian trade. And on the Russian-Ukrainian war, 4 so-called referendums have ended a Russian-held region of Ukraine war used as grounds to annex more territory. Most officials in regions are now support part joining Russia. The polls were denounced as a sham by Ukraine's government and its allies. In the absence of international was not monitored independently. The votes were held in the breakaway eastern regions of Donetsk and Luhansk. Ballots in Russian-occupied parts of the southern regions of Kherson and Zaporizhia were also organized. Refugees scattered across Russia were also able to vote at dozens of polling stations, including in Crimea, a southern Ukrainian peninsula annexed by Russia in 2014. Partial results from voting there indicate huge majorities in favor of joining Russia. Up to 4 million people were asked to vote in the war-torn regions, which make up to 15% of Ukraine's territory. Well, that brings us to the end of this morning's news update. Thank you for watching Channel 44. I remind you of the Karamoja cry. We have sent help to Karamoja. Thanks to you, givers. Thanks to all those that have partnered with the Robert Kayanja Ministries to deliver relief to Karamoja. The need is still great as there is still big land to plow, to plant and produce for the people of Karamoja. These are our very own. A blessing will come upon you greatly if you sow your seed by sending your contribution to the numbers that will be availed during the services. Or you can join us here at the Miracle Center Cathedral every evening as we pray and intercede and also give towards Karamoja. It's the Karamoja Bucket Initiative headed by the Robert Kayanja Ministries. Please join us. You will be tremendously blessed. The Pastors Now program is coming up next. I remain Mercy Gashegu Sembatia. Thank you for watching Channel 44. God bless you and good morning.